welcome back to Atreyu News. Harvard University just declared war on conservative media. In a list of fake news websites that are recommended to their students, Harvard has branded the leading conservative pages as illegitimate news sources. Let's see if CNN's in there. The Daily Caller, The Drudge Report, Breitbart News, The Washington Examiner, The Washington Free Beacon, Independent Journal Review, The Blaze, and The Weekly Standard are all on the list, deemed illegitimate for reasons such as clickbait, biased, or unreliable. Liberal news sources like BuzzFeed, The Washington Post, The Huffington Post, Vox.com, and Salons aren't on the list. Oh, big surprise. Related, Washington Post publishes false news story about Russians hacking electrical grid. The list, compiled by Merrimack College Associate Professor Melissa Zimdars, is recommended to students as part of a Harvard Library Guide on Fake News, Misinformation, and Propaganda. The list is linked under the banner titled Identifying Fake News Sites. A comment next to the link calls the document a huge list of fake news sites. As previously reported, liberal journalists have struggled to come up with a concise definition of fake news, even as they declare war on it. Some liberal journalists have lumped in legitimate news organizations with objectively false websites, leading to concerns that a crackdown on fake news will be used by liberals to silence their conservative counterparts. And what we're witnessing here is something along the lines of, remember when the Patriot Act came out and it's unpatriotic? So same thing happened here. They call the right wing or people on the right fake news, when in actuality it's the real news. They live in upside down land where up is down, black is white, good is bad, right? So no surprise there. It is funny though. CNN probably has to be the fakest news ever created. And it shows. Their stocks have plummeted. People of the left are lost and delusional. The working class is on the right. That's why when we do something, it changes everything. When the left does something, no one gives a shit. Like look at Harvard University and Yale and all these so-called good colleges, whatever. Fuck them. Who needs them? I succeeded outside of school once I realized that school doesn't teach you how to win at life. Harvard, Yale, all these stupid colleges, I wouldn't even advise going to college unless you're going to be a doctor or an engineer, then maybe you probably have to go to it. But other than that, you can succeed in life without the educational systems, and great inventors and great men in the past knew it very well. Well. Look what we just found out about the woman who harassed Spicer. It seems that the same woman who harassed Spicer at the Apple Store also orchestrated the attack on Betsy DeVos. Despicable. We blocked Betsy DeVos at Jefferson Academy. Like our action, help fight DeVos agenda in schools and Congress. So, you got another probably Muslim, anti-white, anti-Western civilization reject. I call them the undesirables. Families who hid Snowden are now seeking asylum elsewhere. Look where they want to go. Families who aided Edward Snowden in Hong Kong are now seeking asylum in our neighbor to the north, Canada. FoxNews.com reports a trio of family who sheltered former government contractor turned notorious leaker Edward Snowden in Hong Kong in 2013 are now seeking asylum in Canada, the northern neighbor of the country whose secrets Snowden stole. The families, consisting of 3 Sri Lankan adults, a Filipina, and 3 children, had an asylum claim in Hong Kong. However, they felt the claim might soon be rejected, prompting the push for Canada. Lawyer Marc-Andre Saugum told Reuters on Friday. Families that sheltered me have formally filed for asylum in Canada. Let us pray Canada protects them in kind, tweeted Snowden, who has been granted asylum in Russia since 2013. The families who housed and fed Snowden for 2 weeks before he fled to Russia face adverse conditions in Hong Kong and are actively sought by Sri Lankan operatives, Sagan said. More than ever, relocating our clients to Canada is a question of life and death, Sagan said in a statement obtained by Time. Sorry. Jeez.
The former National Security Agency contractor who leaked classified documents could soon land back on American soil. Russia is reportedly considering returning Edward Snowden to the U.S. in order to gain favor with President Trump. Snowden insists if Russia is willing to send him back, it proves he's not a spy. Which story do we believe? Brian Yennis is live from our New York City newsroom. Actually, no, he's not. He's here. Oh, man.
It's been a long day, Jewel.
That really was. Show 3. I am not Ron Burgundy. Anyway, go ahead. So tell me, what is happening with this? Because you're hearing two totally different sides of the story.
Well, yeah, it depends on who you ask. There's a difference in semantics when it comes to this report. A government source tells Fox News' Catherine Herridge that Russia believes they have exhausted Edward Snowden's value, and he is now more useful as a bargaining chip to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Now, the implication here is the Russians would give up Snowden to the U.S. in return for something. What? We don't know. It could be anything. We do know the Obama administration has wanted him back in the U.S. We know President Donald Trump has called the NSA whistleblower a, quote, terrible traitor, and tweeted before he was president that Snowden deserves to be executed. The new CIA director, Mike Pompeo, also says Snowden deserves the death penalty. Now, this information to Fox News comes after an NBC report, which seems to take a step further when it comes to this report, citing two government officials. NBC reports that Russia is considering handing over Snowden to the U.S. as a, quote, gift to President Trump in an attempt to curry favor with the president. A gift changes the meaning of the intent of giving up Snowden, and as the former Deputy National Security Assistant to President George W. Bush, Juan Zarate, tweeted, he said the U.S. should be, quote, wary of a gift from Putin. It could very well be an attempt to try to stir controversy here in the United States, and Snowden is a divisive person. I mean, this is somebody who some people think is a hero, other people think he's a traitor.
Yeah, I mean, what is Edward Snowden saying about this report? Because he is putting into question whether he's actually a spy.
Right. So he denies that he is a Russian spy. He began tweeting yesterday, tweeting that he denies that he's a Russian spy because he believes why would a country return a spy they know could then harm them? And earlier today, he suggested the Russian government was actually out to get him. Tweeting, quote, days ago I criticized the Russian government's oppressive new Big Brother law, now threatening rumors. But I won't stop. I don't know if the rumors are true, but I can tell you this, I'm not afraid. There are things that must be said no matter the consequence. Don't be afraid. Be ready. There are more of us than them. Russia has granted Snowden asylum until 2020, fueling accusations he has given Russia U.S. secrets in return for safe refuge. The Department of Justice says he's facing at least 30 years in prison for violating the Espionage Act. And Snowden's lawyers insist he would like to come back to the U.S. with no criminal charges looming. And by the way, the spokesman to President Vladimir Putin says that this is all, quote, nonsense.
So it's not going to happen? It's all made up?
That's what the spokesman says.
I can't keep up with the news these days. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you.
A news reporter claiming she cannot keep up with the news. That's fine. Quit. I'll take over. We will take over. We are the news.